Oh wait, for the mythical creature, this is just my preparation sketch. And the first thing I did was just get a form. Students had selected a yeti, and I just got essentially the mass of the body, placement for the head. The body's kind of leaning forward. Um, if you give your brain something to work with, a framework and a placement, setting the feet, setting the arms, setting the hands, then you can come back in here and kind of mess with that. And I'm just toying with the idea of planting that hand in what would become the ground plane, and I'll set it into a snow field. Um, Taking a look at that, I've opened the mouth. I'm adjusting the right arm here. I want it to be more aggressive. My earlier notes, I said I want to make this kind of yeti, very aggressive, leaning forward, hand out, kind of like clawing at the air. Get an idea of the face. It doesn't have to be too detailed or anything like that. Get an idea of what the mouth looks like. But again, it's not about the details. It's just making sure that the angle is going to work. Give it some kind of texture for the hair. You can look back to what yetis look like in billions of different images. But I'm just trying things out here. I want to try making sure that the jaw structure is going to work. Okay. At this point, it's like, okay, I want to make sure the back feet are placed properly. And I'm like, okay, this doesn't work. I need to do something different here. And you'll see that I'm fighting with that hand. It just doesn't work with the positioning I want. It's a bad composition with the left hand coming down. Although I'm messing with some other things at the moment, but I'm thinking already about, okay, I need to adjust this. And so real quickly, I am okay. This, if the right arm's forward, the left foot needs to be forward, and here I make the decision to go ahead and get rid of the placement of that arm. It's just in the way of having a good working moving yeti coming forward. And so you got to be willing to make changes. Again, this is just a preparatory sketch. I want, so here I'm going to move that arm up into the air and back. Notice it gets a little bit smaller when I do that. I plant that left foot forward more clearly. Okay. And then I'm like, all right, the back foot is going to be further, the right foot is going to be further back. So I shrink that, I bring it up. I'm still kind of fleshing out a few things as I'm thinking about where that other foot really needs to be placed. But the placement now works. The yeti is now more clearly moving forward, almost at a leap instead of where the hand is impeding that movement. Make that hand a little bit more just large, a little bit more muscle bound. Here I finally define that back foot. And again, it's just a gesture of it right now, but I plant it on that ground plane, make sure I understand how that connects to the horizon line, which is about 3/4 of the way up. Sorry, it's about halfway up because the viewer is lower down. So in this image, the viewer is below the head of the yeti, making the yeti feel more intimidating. And so setting that horizon line up even in a preparatory sketch, it could be very, very useful. Just kind of figuring out again some of the hair and all that stuff. At this point, I have a working preparatory sketch for my drawing project. Okay, and it's in space. It's got an action. I can just start thinking about some more specifics with the hands at this point. Change that other hand to be similar, so both hands are reaching out, although the left arm is behind, shoulder coming back, hand is still out, the front arm is reaching, the right arm is reaching forward. Here I clearly define that horizon line. I put those trees down. Now there is an issue with the spacing there. That back tree needs to come down below the horizon line, or I need to raise the horizon line up slightly. I would, in this case, raise the horizon line up slightly.